I wish that we had more African American history in our schools, so you guys would learn more about your history, so that because it's very important. In other words, I guess when I was growing up, we didn't have this kind of violence in our communities. I mean, you know, people didn't have fist fights and stuff like that, but we didn't have people killing each other day in and day out. Now, let me say this. You guys we are all responsible for ourselves, whether we know it or not. We are all in charge of ourselves, whether we understand it or not. And I believe that something is going on here that is controlling our minds. There's all kind of technology out there that we don't know about. All kind of technology. And to me, the fact that every day African American children are killing each other, it's a reason for that. Now, there are reasons that I understand, but there are reasons that I don't understand. So I wish that a lot of what's happening now was not happening. But I also know that if we, as a people, do not figure out how to stop this stuff, we'll be destroyed. We're being destroyed. And it's very serious. It's very serious. We have more African American males in jail. We have more. It's too bad to even maybe add at this point. But you all need to help figure it out, because I'm an elder and y'all are youth, and it's on you, really. You gotta do it. So you need to turn the televisions off. You need to get out of these games. You need to stop and start reading. No, it's true. It's true. You need to get some books. You need to find out about other black people who have struggled and fought, so that you're doing the things that you're able to do, the things that you're doing. People died to make things better. And you all are just, and it's a reason for that. There's reasons for everything. If you can be dumbed down, then you are not going to be able to stand up. And you're being dumbed down, whether you recognize it or not. So, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, and them are not producing these things that you all are looking at and listening to. The brothers that started hip-hop and rap, who were really talking about militant messages, those are not there now. People that are being called B's and O's and all that kind of stuff. What do you think? I mean, why is that available and stuff about kings and queens is not available? See what I'm saying? You need to understand who's creating this negative imaging that they're pounding into you. Who is doing that? Who controls this media? Who controls it? Who's making the money off of it? We need some detectives to check what is going on here. Why are we shooting each other? I mean, my God.
So do we have any more questions from the floor? Oh, Denard.
Do you think that, like, the youth today, they just acting out because like, they don't really understand what's been going on? Do you think that the youth today is just acting out because they don't really understand what's going on?
Yeah. You don't understand because there's not enough people out here trying to help you understand. And because the school, see, Chicago public school system, there was a mandate in Chicago public schools that all Chicago public schools should be teaching African American history. Have y'all been getting a lot of African American history in the school?
No.
No.
Yeah, about the war.
Right. But, you know, in other words, I mean, you know, like, the thousands of people that have gone on before us, and even talking about what happened to us and slavery. Slavery was a horrible thing. Horrible. And it's still going on. You know, you all heard about I can't think of the term right this minute, but say for instance, all the soldiers that are coming back from the wars, you know, these wars, and they're distressed, right? Maybe in the war, maybe in a few years. Well, what do you think about our ancestors who were enslaved on plantations all their lives, could be beaten at any time, could not, had to say yes ma'am, yes sir, could not have families, literally couldn't have families. So what do you think about their minds and what happened to them? And then that passed that on to their children, and their children passed that on to us. So even though we're supposed to be free and we don't have chains on us, we still have chains on our minds. And we need to figure out how do we get these chains off our minds so that we can feel free. Because we're not free. We're not free. When we were in the civil rights movement, we thought, we really did think that, and when I went to Mississippi, we thought that if we could get white people to take the chains off, like if we could take the signs off the water fountains, because you know you used to have water fountains, you know, white water fountain, black water fountain, white toilet, black toilet. Black people could not sit in restaurants. You couldn't even, when I was in Mississippi one time, I was trying to get a ticket on a bus from one city to another city. I went into the bus station and the little man said, you gotta go out there. And I'm talking, what is he talking about? And it's just a little bus station, not a big bus station like you see here in Chicago, just a little small city. He was talking about I had to go outside and get my bus ticket outside from a little window, right? Anyway, I didn't do it, but, and I helped to close the bus station down, but that's a whole other thing. But what I'm saying, I did, I really did. They closed that bus station down. I was in Macomb, Mississippi. There had been a lot of bombings and church burnings. So they had 2 FBI guys in Macomb. And so I was going to Macomb. So I went to Macomb and I called the FBI and told them what had happened. And so I had to go to some meetings in Atlanta after that, so I didn't get back to where I was living for about 2 or 3 weeks. They had closed the bus station down. The FBI had gone out there so fast and closed that bus station down because there was a law against that. But, what was your question about?
I said, do you think that the youth acting out because they don't understand?
Right, they don't. You don't, we have, see, we thought that if we could get white America to let us vote, let us sit at the lunchtime, Let us have a cup of coffee. Let us do that. That we would be free. We thought that because we didn't understand the depth of the issues in this country. So we got all of that done. You know, you can go into the bus station now, sit at the lunchtime, no signs on water fountains, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. But we're not free yet. So that some of us have determined that the other problem is what happened to our minds as a result of our ancestors being kidnapped and enslaved. You need to read about the Middle Passage and what happened to our ancestors when they were taken from their families on those boats and chained. I believe that by the time we got off of the boats, those ships, and those were millions of us, wasn't just one or two, millions. By the time you got off of those boats, in order to survive physically, you had to step out of your mind. You see what I'm saying? You know, like, you had just to do that, ugh. And then you on a plantation, you can't have families, you have children, the slave master can get rid of your children anytime, send them off. All these things happen to our people. And see, there has not been one moment stop in time since the first African was kidnapped and enslaved to this moment. There wasn't no breaks. You know, wasn't no time